I'm going to talk to you about money traps. 7 facts school failed to teach you about money. It's so diabolical to me how the miseducational, misdirectional system makes us memorize things that we will never use at the expense of not teaching us things that affect our everyday lives. And so living in the most prosperous time that's ever existed on the face of the earth, in one of the most prosperous nations on the face of the earth, it doesn't make sense that most people struggle financially unless it's intentional, unless you've been set up to be set back for the rest of your life. And so I'm going to give you 7 facts school failed to teach you about money. The first one is this: money is not wealth. And it's so sad that the miseducation, misdirectional system, that the school system, the system of school, was set up by people who did not have in mind the best interest of the students who would attend those schools. Because a lot of the moguls, when you talk about Rockefeller and Carnegie and some of those like industrial age moguls who were super uber wealthy, believed unfortunately in a zero-sum game. In order for them to have some, a whole bunch of people have to have zero. God didn't set up the universe in a zero-sum game way. God set up the universe in an infinite abundance way. And when I say infinite abundance, what do I mean? The principle of infinite abundance is there's more than enough for everybody to have more than enough, and there'd still be more than enough left over. But if you believe in a limited abundance, and you believe in the economic pie theory, in order for you to have more pie, I have to have less. In order for me to have more pie, you have to have less. Then you are either you're going to have a problem or you're part of the problem. Because the economy doesn't work like a bakery, it works like a garden. And see, the difference between a bakery and a garden is this: in a bakery, consumption creates lack because there are only so many baked goods. But in a garden, consumption creates the potential for production. What does that mean? If I eat an apple out of an apple orchard, I'm going to expose 5 or 6 seeds. Those 5 or 6 seeds don't grow 5 or 6 more apples. They grow 5 or 6 more trees. Because God created an ever-expanding universe, and he created one wherein everything is energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just changes form. So the apple, I eat the apple, I turn the apple into energy for my body. I plant the seeds in the ground, and it produces more trees. And those trees produce more apples. And this does not get, like, it doesn't happen so that there becomes less apples over time. It just so happens that there become more apples over time. Wow. But money is not wealth. So if you think money's wealth, then you're going to focus on the money and you're going to miss the wealth. Oh snap. I said that way too fast. And so before I even talk about what I mean when I said that, let me answer this question. If money isn't wealth, what is wealth? Is that a good question? Yes or yes? That's a great question. If money isn't wealth, what is wealth? Wealth is my ability to create value for someone other than me. Wealth is your ability to create value for someone other than you. Wealth is the result of a massive value exchange. And if you can't figure out how to create value for someone other than you, you will never be wealthy. The money is just one of the results of the wealth. Am I talking too fast? The money is just one of the results of the wealth. And so what happens is when I create value for other people, one of the things I get for creating that value is I get money. But guess what else I get? I get goodwill. I get appreciation. I get celebration. I get things that money can't buy, as well as the money so that I can get the things that money can buy. So that sounds good and sounds great, but here's one of the things I notice. Everybody will talk about value. Oh, you got to create more value. Well, you just got to create more value, but nobody explains where value comes from. So I'm going to tell you where value comes from. So you have to create more value. Wealth, money is a store of value, right? That's what money is. It's a store of value. It's a way to store and measure value. What value? It's a way to store and measure the amount of value you brought to someone other than you. When I go to a restaurant, the reason they feed me is it seems like they're feeding me because I have money. But the real reason they're feeding me is because I can prove that I've served somebody other than me. That's what the money does. It shows them that I've done something for somebody other than me. Now, why is that so important? Because all the money you desire to have and don't have right now, it's in somebody else's pocket, somebody else's bank account, somebody else's purse, it's in somebody else's account. So in order for them, you can either hit them in the head and take it from them, which I don't recommend, or you can provide them with something they value more than they value the money. It's so simple. It's simple, but it's hard. I'm going to tell you why it's hard too. So in order for me to create value for someone other than me, I have to know where value comes from. And y'all have heard me say it before, but I'm going to keep on saying it. You know why? Because our sinful flesh is not good at retaining truth for very long periods of time. Our remembrance has to be stirred up. So I'm going to keep on saying it, and then eventually one of these days it's going to get locked and loaded, and you're going to be like hop, skipping, and jumping down the street because it's locked and loaded. Okay, where do values come from? Where does value come from? I can't uncover value for you. I can't create value for you until I know what's valuable to you, right? So I have to figure out what's valuable to you. In order for me to find out what's valuable to you, I have to do some discovery. And I can do some discovery by asking you questions, but it's going to have something to do with me having some kind of interaction with you. I'm going to have some kind of interaction with you to find out what you value. And when I find out what you value, when I give you what you value, you'll be happily give me some money. Or if you give me what I value, I'll happily give you some money. It's just how it works. Okay, so here's where values come from. Past perceived voids create present pursued values. Past perceived voids. Things that you feel like you've been missing your whole life, missing out on your whole life. Things that you've, like, I wish I could have one of these, but I can't afford it, right? Things that you've been missing out on your whole life, things that you've wanted to do your whole life, those are things that you value. Oh, that makes sense. Past perceived voids create present pursued values. It's why nostalgia exists. It's why people can create like throwback products and everybody wants to buy them, right? Because past perceived voids create present pursued values, right? And it's so interesting. A friend of mine, his name's Todd, when Pontiac went out of business, they're done. They're done. They're no longer in business. Y'all know that, right? He started a business by going to Pontiac and buying the rights to the Trans Am. Now, why would you buy the rights to the Trans Am? Because Chevy came out with the Camaro. And the Trans Am was the Pontiac version of the Camaro. And so he started buying a Camaro for 40 or 50,000 bucks. He would convert it into a Trans Am and then sell it for 150,000 bucks. Oh, this was 15 years ago, right? So what did he do? How could he buy a car for 40,000, like put a different name on it, put some Trans Am looking stuff on it, whatever that is, right? And